Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And yes, today finally I am continuing on my beginner's guide series. So my beginner's guide videos have actually done really, really well. I've had more requests for more beginner's guides because Opera Omnia has gotten to be such a complex game. I don't think doing like a full comprehensive beginner guide in one video is realistic. There's just so much info to cover. So um, couple of my beginners guides, I have a beginner's guides to doing co-ops and just how to have proper etiquette and like things to look out for in co-op. The one that's done really well is how to max out characters. So I have a whole video on how to max out characters, right? Now, part of maxing out a character is maxing out their summon board. So something I needed to do was a video on how do you do summon boards and how do summons work, things like that. So that is what this video is going to be about. So in this video, we're going to look at one, like talk about why summons are important, how to actually increase the level of your summons and get them maxed out. And then we're going to talk about how increasing your summons actually allows you to increase the stats of your characters. And then also how summons are a really great way to farm materials. You can farm so many materials with these summons in the game. It's actually quite insane if you're a brand new player. You literally have so many resources to grind. You don't have to buy gems for any reason if you're willing to grind everything out, right? So there's a lot of things kind of tied to this, so we'll go ahead and jump in right now. So the first thing is when you load in the game, you're going to go ahead and go to the quest page. And in the quest page at the top, at the bottom, you're going to have World of Illusions. So we're going to hop into World of Illusions. Now, you're probably not going to see all the stuff that I have if you're a newer player, but what you should have at the bottom here are just some trials. So they have a trial for each summon, right? So let's just go into Ifrit's trials, for example, here. When you go into each trial, they're just going to be a very small stage with a bunch of levels to defeat. You want to beat these levels one just to get the gems and the resources, but you're going to notice as you grind through these levels that you're actually getting resources for a summon. And what these resources do is they allow you to level up your summon. By doing this first set of trials, you should be able to get your summon to level 20. What you want to do is basically just get to the last stage, and then I would just use a 2x item book because the game is going to flood you with these. So don't be afraid to use them. So if you go to your support items, you can see like, look how many books I have, like double the amount of like Gil, for example, I have like 300 books. I've got like 300 of double EXP. I've got 100 of double everything, right? So if you want your grind to go faster, use double items at least. You can get triple books too, but those are a little bit more rare. So you want to be maybe thinking about how you use those. But yeah, use at least the double book, and then you're going to get your items. So what you're going to do is as you're grinding this out, you're going to level up your summon. So how to level up your summon, you're going to go to your tab on the right, and you want to go to enhancements. And then when you're in the enhancements tab, you're going to have something called bind and enhance. Now, all my summons are maxed out, but luckily I have a couple here at the bottom that aren't maxed out. So if you click on a summon, you're going to click confirm, and it's just going to take you to this. So these are the materials you're trying to collect, right? So as you collect those materials, and each summon has their own specific ones you're grabbing, you just click yes, and they level up. So basically, you just keep leveling up and farming the trials until the summon gets to level 20. And trust me, this is worth doing. It is so important to get these summons done, especially if you want to bring out the full potential of your characters, right? Which we're going to talk about. So what happens is you finish all the trials, you get all the summons up to level 20, right? So then we're going to go back into our World of Illusions tab. So we'll back out here. And then there's like 3 sets of summon trials that you're going through. So that was set 1, okay? So set 1 is the trials at the bottom. That'll get you to level 20. Then what we have are the World of Illusions Ultimate. This is going to serve 2 very important purposes. One is you're going to get your summons up to level 30, which is good. It makes them more powerful, right? But the big thing here is that you can actually increase your character boards. And this is a really big deal for making your character stronger. And it's really good for farming materials, right? So we're going to hop in. We'll just pick one of these. So we'll just go into Brothers, for example. So like the trials, there's going to be a series of stages, right? But then what you'll notice is there's going to be one stage with the summon like on a podium. So that's the stage that you actually farm the summon board points. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be farming like the regular stages to get the materials to get them to level 30. But once you're basically at level 30, you can start farming. You do get some materials from in here farming too. So you could farm character points, get the materials, and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. I just don't remember if it gives you all the materials you need, but I think it does. So like beat all the stages once and then just go into this podium stage to farm. So when you go into here, I'll actually do a stage as an example, just so you guys can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out Cloud here for Lot. Now, what you're going to notice is some characters will have EXP times 2, and other characters will not. So the way this works to get your character board points is it is based off of experience. So when you're farming these, you want to use a double or a triple experience book if you have one to make it go a lot quicker. I would say if it's like your first time doing it, like get a handle for it first, like get the hang of it, understand the pacing of it, like what you want to do, and then like really grind it hard with books. That's what you want to do. Now, a couple things are going to affect the character points. One is if the character has double experience bonus. Another one is going to be if you have a book on. Another one is going to be if you have the Moogle Pass. The Mog Pass increases it, and then your rank also increases it as well. So you get more points based on your rank, Mog Pass, EXP times 2, and books. So there's a lot of things that influence this. For those of you that don't know how to increase your rank, basically just leveling up your characters. So every 10 levels of any character you control gives you 1 rank. So that's how you rank up. Ranking up is important because it's going to help your grind go a lot faster for these, right? So sure, let's just hop in and do one so that you guys can see how this looks, and you'll see how many points we get. So I'll just run this quick with a double book on. So I'll just do a double EXP. I mean, I've got so many of them, right? We'll just pop one off here. Bring in a friend. Now, what you can do for this, if you want to go really fast, if you're a newer player and you don't have like crazy units, if you have a friend unit that just has a green BT attack, just pop the green BT attack really quick, or even sometimes the friend LD will one-shot. Like, these bosses are pretty weak, right? So we'll just say, like with Cloud here, for example, now this is a boss that happens to have a 2-turn, but we'll just LD. This will kill the first phase. I think this boss and Shiva have 2 phases, but everyone else, you'll just one-shot them and they'll die. It'll go really quick, right? Okay, so then we'll just go ahead and LD here, and this will probably kill him. They go pretty quick, like especially if you're powered up, and there's been a lot of power creep. Okay, so we'll see if the follow-up finishes here. Yep, okay. So they're dead, basically one shot, right? So the boss will die, and then you're going to see us, we're going to get some character points. And then we'll see, and I'm going to show you guys how to apply the character points and how to actually use them. So we're going to hop in, we're going to do this. Yep, go through this. And there you can see those are the materials here, right? To level up the summon. So you do get them from here. So you can just farm them from there, right? So now we go here. Now notice the points here. So Cloud got 1,800 and Garnet only got 939. That's because Cloud has a ×2 experience. Now keep in mind, this amount of points does come from, it's going to take into effect my rank and my Mog Pass. So if you're a newer player and you don't have that stuff, like your points are going to be a little bit lower, right? Now, another thing to keep in mind is they will run special campaigns. They aren't doing one right now, otherwise I would show it. But some of the characters will, like when you're looking in your box to build your team, they'll have like a purple aura. So that means they are divine boosted for summon boards. They do periodic campaigns to help players catch up on their summon boards. If a character is divine boosted, if you're running a divine boosted character with the purple aura, the other 2 characters in your team will automatically get double experience even if they're not EXP boosted. So that's a really good time to like buff up like your non-characters you're not using or your characters that aren't boosted at the time or whatever, right? The other thing you're going to see here is at the bottom where it says 6539. Those are called wild points. So you also get a little bit of wild points every time you do a run. Wild points can be used on any character. So I'll show you how to apply those as well. So as you're building other characters, eventually you'll build up enough wild points to get like another character for free, basically. So it's kind of like a buy 3, get 1 free, something like that, right? So so that's obtaining the points. So now I'm going to go in and show you how to use the points and apply them to your character. And then also show you how like the goodies you can get from this, right? So to actually apply these points to your character, you're going to go to the enhancement tab again. And you are going to go to training boards at the top, okay? Now, when you're in training boards, we'll just go into Squall, I suppose. At the top here, these are character points. This doesn't really have anything to do with summons, but these are character points you just earn from events. So these you just, when you get the weapons maxed out, you just hit auto, you want to max this out, okay? But what's relevant to what we're talking about are the summon board points. So now you see here, we have all the summons on there. So we had just done the brothers, right? So if I go into brothers for Squall, which is a character we just had, you'll see at the top there, he's got a bunch of points. He's got 9,999. He's maxed out, right? To max out a summon board, you need 6,500 points per summon to max it out. So Squall right now, if he wasn't already maxed out, he would be able to do that. What you would do is you just click on a button and then press auto. It'll autofill. But the thing is you'll see you have treasure nodes on here. Each summon board has 3 treasure nodes. One's going to give you gems. Another one's going to give you tickets. And the other one, oh gosh, I don't even remember what the other one gives you. What does the third one? It gives you something, but you get tickets, gems, and then other stuff. And it's really good stuff. And here's the reason why this ends up being so much. Because there's 10 summons, right? So if we look at tickets, this is 30 tickets for Squall, right? So just doing all of Squall's summon boards, you get 30 tickets. Well, there's like 160 characters in the game, right? Something like that. So you take 160 times 30, that's how many tickets are sitting here waiting for you. Gems, same thing. So you get 300 gems per each one of these. So it's, oh gosh, I'm just like going crazy right now. Yes. So 3 tickets per 300 gems. So 300 times 10 is 3,000. So you're going to get 3,000 gems per character. Once again, 160 something characters times 3,000. That's a lot of gems. So if you're willing to put in the grind and get all that stuff, you're just going to get a ton of resources here, right? So it's all just sitting here waiting for you to grab. For literally every character in the game has this. Now, the other thing you're going to notice from this, why this is important, is as you're going through, you see on the board, there's a bunch of stats. So we're getting HP, attack, defense, int brave, like all the stats. So just the stat boost alone from getting all 10 boards is actually very impactful on the character's performance. I've had people comment on my videos that like, hey, I feel like my character's maxed out, but they're not doing as much damage as your character. And I'll say, well, did you max out their boards? And they're like, I don't know what boards are. So that's what this video is for, right? So boards are a really important part of making the characters look their best. You need all the stats from these boards, okay? And then, like I said, you've got the treasure node. And then also you'll see these stats here. There's 3 nodes on each one that are special effects that you can get from the character, and you can use CP on them. So these are also impactful because they can increase like damage during launching. There's a couple that have dodge on them. There's 2 panels. I think Leviathan and Bahamut, they have like life gain ones. I think each one gives you like 10% more health. So like there's a lot of really good stuff that'll come out. Like Odin does physical attack. Bahamut's got magic attack stuff in it. They all have elemental stuff. So this is just another tip I'll give you, right? So let's say you're using a character that has fire. So let's say you're doing Lulu or Vivi, right? They do fire damage. Well, on a Frit, one of his boards is fire power up, and it increases your fire damage by 10%. So the one thing to note when you're going through these boards and picking like what to put on your character, if a character uses an element, make sure when you're doing that element summon, you give them that element power up so that they do more damage with that element. Okay, that's the one tip I'll give you there. If you guys go to Tonberry Troop and look at the infographics, if you want to know specifically which passives to pick, you can go on there for each character and look on that. That's a lot to go over in this video. But basically, get the stats, get the treasure, and then apply everything, right? So the other thing you have to remember to do then is when you have your character, you actually equip it on there, right? So let's go into Squall again. So let me go back out and go into my actual character equipment here. Or we'll just do Cloud because he's sitting here. That's fine. Cloud's sitting here. So when you go into passive abilities, obviously if we click auto, it'll just auto equip it for you. But it's here under board passives. So if I go down here to all these ones that cost 2, like Mighty Physical Up, this comes from Odin, right? So brave damage dealt by 10% with physical attacks. Amazing. Like really good. That's just 10% more. And that came from one thing from the summon board. And all these are just like 2 CP costs, and they all come from those summon boards. So you want to get all those equipped. It makes the character look a lot better, right? So that's basically it for the tier 1. So just to recap, tier 1, do the trials, get them to level 20. Tier 2, get them level 30, and max your summon boards and get all your treasure, right? Now we got to go to the 3rd tier of summons, which are the newest one, and not all summons have this. I think we have got only like 4 of them right now. We'll see what's on there. There's like 4 or 5 of them out right now, so they're not all out yet at the time of recording. So now finally we have World of Illusions Divine. Okay, now these are longer grinds, but you can auto plus these, and it doesn't matter. The thing that's better about these than summon boards is you just grind it with any team. It doesn't matter who's on it. You don't have to do this for every character. You just have like one pool of points, and you're just leveling it up slowly, and then you just get a ton of stuff, right? So right now we have Diablos, Ramu, Alexander, Brothers, Pandemonium, Shiva, and Ifrit. Wow, we've done more of these than I thought. We're actually almost done. We're getting there, right? So let's just go into Ifrit, for example. Now this one's really nice. On the side here, it tells you all the treasure you can get. Let me hop in here. Yeah, so if you look there in the upper left, each summon board for the Divine, if you maxed it out, and you can see that I've got 30 out of 30 levels. So if you get it, like, if you go through the 30 boards, there's 30 boards you can grind out. If you grind out all 30 boards, look at that, 40k gems, 400 tickets. Like, that's a ton. So basically when all 10 summons are done, if you're a new player and you haven't done any of these, That's what, 400k gems. Yeah, 400k gems and 4,000 tickets. You think that's pretty generous of a gacha game? And that's not even including like story mode and like actual stages. That's just in the divine boards. All that stuff is sitting there just waiting for you to grind it out. Like a ton of treasure. So the main reason you're doing the divine boards, yes, getting the summon to level 40 is nice, because basically what happens is the first 15 levels or the first 15 boards you do give you materials to bring the summon up to level 40. Everything after summon board 15 will just basically give you more treasure. So it's just gravy on top of that, right? So the way these ones work, we'll do one of these here. So let me go to the stage right here. So this one here is another one where it's got just a few little stages on it, and it does have a Lufenia Plus in it. But if you go down here, once again, you just find the podium, do the stage with the podium. We'll just hop in and do that. Now this one isn't affected by EXP, so you don't use books on it or anything like that. The way this one's going to work, the divine one, and I don't think there's anybody actually boosted for this right now. It's like I'm kind of doing this at an off time. But what'll happen is there'll be a specific set of like 6 characters that will be like divine boosted for this event particularly. Basically, you want to make a team of 3 boosted characters. So the best team you can make of those 3, because they're going to give you boosted points. And then you just grind it like crazy and you just use auto plus with characters with LD attacks, and they'll just kind of crush it down, right? So we'll do one really quick here. So let's just hop in. So we'll do an auto plus run. And once again, you kind of have to have like more maxed out or more like upgraded characters to do this. If you don't, then you might not be able to do it on auto plus, but you should be able to get through it. It's not like the hardest thing in the world, right? So we'll just let our Frit do his thing here, and we're just going to auto plus through it. So we'll let the auto go. And I've got green characters, so they're going to do their BT attacks, and they're going to wipe through them actually pretty quick. So we'll just let the auto plus roll, and then we'll just let you see all the points kind of come in here. Oh yeah, he's just one shot there. I mean, Ifrit was the first one, so he's a little bit weaker, right? Okay, so there you go. Defeated Ifrit. He's going to go down. And then what happens is the nice part about doing these is you don't have the pressure of like, okay, I've got a book on. I got to make sure I'm grinding really hard while the book is going so I don't waste a turn. There's no book. It's just you run a boosted team, and then we click next. Click next. And then we just get points. So the points just add into your health points. Now, just for reference, each board is 7,500 points. So basically 7,500 times 30, that's how many points you need to do all the boards. It does take a while, right? But if you do it on, so what I would say for me with a team that like 1 or 2 shots it, I think it takes like 3 to 4 hours on auto plus. But typically what I do with this, it's never very painful for me because you just do it when you're doing something else. So if you're watching a movie, playing another game on your TV, you just have this on your lap. And you can see like the screen's moving or you have the noise on. Whenever you hear the noise stop or you just stop seeing movement, just click retry twice. It'll hop in. The one thing is when you're grinding this and you're retrying, don't bring a friend because it's going to ask you to pick a friend each time. So go in without a friend and then you just hit retry and it hops back in. It doesn't ask you to find a friend. Goes a lot faster. So that's my advice for doing that. So that's basically it, guys. I think that's it. So I'll do just a quick overall recap. I know that was a lot of info. Feel free to rewatch the video. You can ask me questions in the comments too if I missed anything. So just to recap, you go into the World of Illusions, start with Trials at the bottom, just grind the regular stages, get the materials, get the summons level 20. Then that is going to open up the World of Illusions Ultimate, grind all the stages, get the grind materials till you get your summon up to 30, and then grind the stage with the podium with specific characters on the team with an EXP boosting item to get their points up to 6,500 for each summon, max out the summon boards for each character for each summon, tons of rewards there, tons of stats for your character. Then you go in the World of Illusions Divine. Once again, this gets your summons up to level 40. Just grind one team that is all boosted. Do not bring a friend. Auto plus with LD attacks or green burst attacks. Keep it on your lap while you're just grinding, doing something else where you don't have to pay attention too much, and then just hit retry every once in a while and you're good to go. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps. If you have a request for another beginner's guide, let me know in the comments. I'm going to keep these beginner guides coming because I think it's really helpful to new players. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you all in the next one.